morning, everybody. Welcome to our ballot processing center for Kitsap County elections. This is our first and only day of the canvassing board for this February election. We will begin with Paul receiving the oath. Oh, is Christine? You got it.
You're going to administer the oath. Sorry, you missed that.
I'm administering the oath to you. Please raise your right hand. I, Paul Andrews,
I, Paul Andrews,
solemnly swear
that the official returns
and supporting
documentation
of the February special election held on February 11th, 2025
in Kitsap County,
State of Washington,
are true and correct.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we just have a handful of ballots to review today, and we're going to start with this one here. This is a ballot that we thought could possibly have been signed by this person's family member. So this is the voter signature on record. This is the family member's signature on their own ballot, and the family member's signature on record. So if you either mark approved or rejected here.
That's the voter.
This is the
That's
voter
their
signature.
ballot.
This is their ballot. This is the signature that came on their ballot, and then this is their family member's signature on their ballot. So we found enough similarity between the two that we thought perhaps that family member signed their ballot.
And what's this?
This is the family member's signatures on record.
It's definitely not that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that got sent back for a redo that they didn't respond.
This one, so they got, we actually just processed this yesterday, so they haven't gotten anything in the mail. We just got this one.
Yeah, I would reject this one. I guess I'm not necessarily positive that it was the family member,
So-
but certainly wasn't the voter.
Sure.
And I don't need to sign it because no.
So what we can do for this one is just send a letter from our office to this voter, letting them know that someone may have signed their ballot. Just to be careful in the future, if that works.
That or just a standard letter that when we reject the signature.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next- Sure. Okay. All right, and
And you'll get the next one.
Was that what we-
all right, folks. So
I'm
we
just
have.
kind of enjoying chat.
We have one ballot here where the voter did respond to their letter letting them know that their signature didn't match, but we agreed that this signature still does not match the signature on the ballot. So this is what we have on record, and then this is what they returned to us on their no match letter, but we said it still does not match.
I need to go get a pen. Does anybody have an extra pen? Thank you. Can I use it? Can I use this?
Thank you.
I got hundreds.
Okay, and now everyone has a portion of the ballots that are left here. These are ballots where the signature did not match and the voter has not yet responded to our letter. So if you want to get started when you're done marking accepted or rejected, just put them to the side. And then when the time comes, if you have a tiebreaker, just let me know.
First name, last name. I stopped. Maybe that was a fetish.
I stopped doing that last year.
Oh, you grew up. Or you grew old.
Yeah.
It took too long.
And these are all people that you sent it back and said, send us a new name.
We sent letters, we've called folks, we've sent emails, and we've sent text messages as well. We have their phone number on file.
On these that have a list, those are historical, so if there's only one signature, I'm guessing that's probably
It's the
a
only
young
one. that-
individual, or they've only gotten a license once.
It could be, some folks do a lot of signatures. If they update their signature at the DMV, we'll get that new signature. If they return a letter requesting a signature update, we'll capture that one. So some folks have quite a few, some folks have just the one.
At this point, this one takes a little bit. Requires two to approve, so. We'll get that set for somebody else. So it can, it'll be a while. Well, it's only 60 minutes, so.
So once there's two, we put it back in.
You can put it in a separate, if you would, separate file. Perfect, thank you. Cool, thank you. Gotcha, thank you. Make sure they all have two initial signatures. sign them. Take your time, Christine.
They're old salts, yeah.
Yeah.
We have 3 examples.
It takes time to learn.
Just four.
It's all surround.
Have you been waiting for me for 15 minutes?
You'll find this group is really patient
That's kind of you to say.
with all of us, even us observers.
It's quiet. God. Hate is to put it to first because of the team's phone system. It's so loud. More headaches. Back to having storage issues.
Okay. How many did we have there total? 4? All right. Thanks, everybody. So we now have 4 ballots that the canvassing board has accepted. So we are going to do some ballot processing, and I will pass this over to Paul to talk us through it.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the ballot, just for those of you that are watching, so, I don't know where they're at right now, but Zach has them? Okay. So we're gonna follow the ballot so we can see what happens. Normally, this process is always the same, as far as when you mail ballot to us and, when we go through canvas board. So we've now gone through and we've found that we have 4. We have 4 ballots that we've accepted signatures on, so we're gonna take these and check them in. We've already checked them in as being received, now we're gonna check them as being approved, and then we will run them through the scanning equipment that will update the totals for the election that they voted in, and then we'll run new numbers. So we're just gonna walk you through this since this is a one-day canvas board today.
I mean, like in terms of
Okay. I thought you were carrying them back there.
Well, no, I guess you gotta
Oh,
and do the process part.
you can scan it in, you can check it in here, or you've already done that?
No, I put it on the innocent position, but they gotta do the block that.
Oh, okay.
Check it.
Okay.
I got it, so.
We figure then just putting this on pause, we'll give you a behind the scenes of how all this works. Shut off. It's not.
Yeah.
I've never seen this, so.
Yeah, so each voter has a unique barcode that we can scan. so we can check, so we can bring the ballot up and then we can change the status to accepted. So during a normal process, when they're doing signature verification, after we've run the ballot through to say that we've received it, when it's signature verified, the status is put on it at that point in a batch process. We don't physically have the ballots at that time. We're using images that we've taken of those ballots, and we'll indicate whether we've accepted the signature or we've challenged the signature. If they've challenged, then they show up here, and that's what we just went through. Were the ones that were challenged, and now these four we're now accepting and then moving those forward and being counted.
Excuse us.
So this piece of the process is actually something that happens during the batching, and that's where a number is assigned to a group of ballots so that we can track them through the processing phase. We're creating a batch for these ballots that we're now accepting. That's all part of our accounting. Everything gets a tag with a number count and all of that, and that's how we make sure that we have the right number of ballots. So he created the batch, and now she's going to check this batch out so that she can then do the processing piece of it.
Let's do it over here. You took that letter over there, so you get a letter.
We'll get it.
So when we're dealing with large batches, we have an opener that we use. There's one in the machine, or we have a separate standalone opener. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Did you say you had 1,000 of these in the order for the presidential election?
Closer to 2,000.
You did the same thing, you had 2,000.
It took all day, about 5 hours.
Yeah, how many people?
About 6 hours.
I like the fact that there's always two people.
This
around
step
ballots.
actually can be done by one person, like this particular thing. I mean, there would be two people in the room at all times, but this step is actually typically done by one person when there's like regular size batch.
And having said that, there's always a permanent staff member in the room, and usually this room is full of other processors as well.
So these four ballots are also going to be separated by consolidated precinct?
This
And
will,
put the totals in the
this is
precinct?
what we would consider to be a mixed batch, unless they all happen to be the same precinct.
Okay, so then you'd have to go through that mixed batch, if there's a recount in that consolidated precinct.
Yep, and we try our best to, for the most part, separate them, but towards the end, we'll have a few at a time, and we'll just do those batches there.
There's nothing gets thrown away.
Nothing is thrown away. Unless there are scraps in there, sometimes we'll get a receipt or a coupon in there.
Unless it's a good coupon,
If it's a
then we
good
won't throw it.
coupon,
Secrecy sleep right throw away.
secrecy sleeves we don't throw away right away. We dispose of those 10 days after we certify.
Sorry.
We're doing one further review because it's done in pencil, so they need to physically look at it in the tab room.
Yep. So 3 of the 4 ballots were voted with pen per the instructions on how to vote. One of them was voted with a pencil, and a pencil will create a different image when we scan it, so we'll need to review it. So we're going to run 3 in one batch, and then we'll run 1 separately. And so this is the machine that we'll use when we're processing big batches of ballots. This is our ballot sorting machine, and it can process over 2,000 ballots an hour. We stack them in the feeder tray, and then it disperses them out. It reads them, checks them, and does all of that stuff. So this is when we're doing large batches of ballots. We do that here with this. Like you heard the conversation earlier, we keep all the secrecy sleeves, so we've got bins of secrecy sleeves. They've been tied off based on the batch that they were processed in, so there's about 200 in this one. We'll keep these for 10 days, and then they'll go to shred. And then all of the envelopes that we received in this election are trayed up, bundled up per their batches, and those will be retained now for the 60 days for this election before we'll send those to destroy. So we're just getting we had a further review batch, so we had to get the form out so that we can keep all of our paperwork consistent. So we don't change anything through the process. So even though this is Canvas Board, this is the end of our election processing. We still follow all of the same procedures all the way through. That way, if we had to do an audit after the fact, everything is consistently managed and maintained and processed the same. So we created a new batch for the further review. This is all behind the scenes. This is stuff that you don't normally see. This happens with every single ballot in every election.
So then, probably one more paper clip. Looks like we used.
And get paper. Which actually is what a prosecutor does.
But, at the same time, can I articulate why I'm rejecting it? Can I say, well, this is why I'm rejecting it? It comes down to one vote. Can I say, when it came down to one vote, okay, this was the ballot. Tell me why you rejected or approved it. I gotta be able to, yeah.
So that's probably gonna be. The D.
Yeah.
Yep.
90% of them.
All right.
Ready for tab.
So now we go into the tabulation room.
Michael,
Yeah.
time to tab.
So this room here is where we do all the counting of the ballots after we've done all the processing that you've
We
seen
need
out
to
there.
get Zach.
There's nothing you can do.
This room is air gapped. Requires 2 staff to access the room.
What do you want first?
We have all of our scanners and tabulation scanners are on one side of the room on the left. The tabulators on the right. That's not me. It's something in the system.
Something bad,
Yeah, I heard it out in the other room too. Oh. So every batch of ballots is assigned to a box. That's part of a manifest that we have to create for every election. That helps us with the what we do in the elections. So they have a sheet that they have to update. The sticker goes on that shows what batch went through for that box. It's all part of our system. Scanned the single ballot that was ballots. This is our central machine. They're now collecting the results from those scans. They put it on a thumb drive, and then manually it has to be carried across the room, and then it'll go through the tabulation equipment.
Did it change the vote? I didn't see what the turnout.
It changed from 2068 to 20,072, the big numbers, and then turnout percentage stayed the same because there wasn't enough to change the percentage, and then he'll run the tabulate, and this will generate a new report. So you have one report that's at your table, and now this is a new report to reflect the 4 extra ballots cast. Whatever Regina needs, because we need it for certifying, plus for Canvas Board and probably the observers, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's 1,200 voters in North Mason, or that are in the North Mason School District that live in Kitsap. And so they were running a levy as well, so we actually had 2 elections that we were running.
The North Mason,
Something like that, yeah.
the Mason County
But our results were pretty consistent with the with the body of Mason County's vote. Yeah, on election night, we had less than 200 Mason County ballots, so we hadn't even run the Mason County batch yet. Yeah, whatever we need. Yep. I'll carry it out here, I'll get it to you. So we are done, we've retabulated with the new results. We'll now take you back out to finish Canvas board. Here's the 4 copies. Chuck's going to want one, I think.
I think you probably will.
And we will go over here. And we will return you to your regularly scheduled broadcast.
All right, wasn't that fun? So we have an updated results that's going to be posted on our website for you guys to see. Here is a copy for each of you of our official result here. And then I will just read to you some ballots that were not counted and rejected according to state law before we close. We had 245 ballots returned undeliverable, 10 Kitsap ballots received in another county that they sent to us for processing. We had 1 Kitsap voter transfer on time to a new county, 3 other county ballots received in Kitsap and sent to the county of record. We had 3 on-time transfers to Kitsap. 8 folks moved out of the district, which means they started the election within the school district, moved out on time, and therefore weren't able to vote. We had 1 ballot signed by power of attorney, 1 ballot returned without a lavender envelope or declaration. We had 9 empty outer envelopes with no ballot inside. 102 ballots returned with no signature, 81 ballots postmarked after Election Day, and 13 ballots received after 8 p.m. at the drop box on Election Day.
I think it's important to say too that the power of attorney sign, it's not legal to sign with power of attorney on a ballot, so that ballot was rejected.
Yes.
But we categorize that as part of our reconciliation and certification. That's just to identify that that was how we received it.
So if there aren't any questions, I do want to thank our observers who take their time out of their day to come and be a part of this process. And I'll have you guys sign.
So the final results, did you read off? The South Kitsap levy had 10,960 yes votes, 9,013 no votes, 54.87% to 45.13%. And the North Mason School District had 43 yes, 50 no, that was 46.24 voting yes, and 53.76 voting.
Thank you, Paul. Two on this one, 2 on this one. Okay, so thank you so much for everybody who joined us online, and meeting adjourned. Thank you.